Hi, welcome to episode 245 of your favorite daily podcast, A Couple of Things. Wow, 120 days to go, and also 120 days left in the year, and that is wild. Basically, exactly 4 months if you divide like by 30. But, anyways, today I'm going to be talking about the tension between how I truly believe I can do anything and why I can't do everything. So, yeah, let's get into it. So the other day, I was going through my lessons I learned in 2023 notes, which I was going to publish, but I ended up not publishing. And now we're in September and it feels strange to publish it, but maybe I will publish it anyways. But anyway, one of the things I wrote on there was I can do anything and I can't do everything. And I feel like maybe I might have actually even talked about this at least once at some point on this podcast. But I've been thinking about that more and more now. I know that I can learn anything. I can become better at anything. I can, if I choose to decide that, this UX and tech industry thing I'm not doing again, I want to go and do something else entirely different, I can actually do that. Is within my capacity, within my ability, within the possibilities of life, that I can do anything. Well, there are some limits. Like I literally, I don't mean that I literally can't do anything, but just generally, right? Like I can wake up, as I've talked about often on the podcast, that you can really just decide to do something new and different from what you've been doing your whole life, right? So I know that, I believe that, I'm a strong proponent of the idea that you can reinvent your life, reinvent yourself. However, time is limited. You as a person, you are limited by time, location, age, whatever. I don't know. Yes, I know people will say like there's no such thing as limitations, blah, blah, blah. I think that that's a very idealized view of the world, or idealistic view of the world, because like literally at a certain, for certain reasons you can't do certain things. So think about, for example, how I don't know what it is like now, but all I know about this is from movies. But before, if you wanted to join the US military, for example, if you had like heart conditions or specific health conditions, you couldn't join the military, like on the front or whatever. Maybe you could work in the offices or whatever, but you couldn't like be in the field, right? And no matter what anybody wants to say, you can't. Maybe now there's technology and whatever. I don't know what it's like now, and I'm just talking based on all the movies I've watched about like back then, which sounds like a very random place, but back then, like, I don't know, I don't want to give dates or anything, but you get my drift, right? So yes, you can't do anything, but at sometimes there might be literal limitations, physical, physiological, biological, mental, whatever, that could restrict you from doing those things, which is not even the point of this episode. Let's go back on topic. The point is that there might be limitations on certain things. Maybe, again, using the military, like being on the field example again as well, maybe at a certain age you can't, like the military will not accept people over a certain age. Maybe there are reasons for it, maybe it's just arbitrary, but the fact of the matter is like that's what it is right now. And so for that reason, people above a certain age or even below a certain age cannot be in the military in the front. So but maybe you could walk elsewhere in the offices, in the admin or whatever. But that's the point. The point is that although there is as human beings, we have the capacity and the ability to push our bodies, push ourselves, push our minds to do all kinds of things. Like I read recently of a guy he's like a renowned Scrabble player in English, and so he decided to compete in French. And the man does not speak French, he just memorized and learned a lot of French words, and he's been doing really great there as well. So you can do a lot of things. You can run a 4-minute mile which was like the peak of human physical achievement at some point, but people have damaged that record so many times since then. But like, yeah, we can push ourselves to our limits and blah blah blah, but there's a limit. Still, there is a limit, and it can be brought on by so many different things. And sometimes the limit is a function of the fact that we have limited time, right? Time is limited. We can say many other things are not limited, but time is limited, right? You have 24 hours a day, you have 7 days a week, you have 4 weeks in a month, 52 weeks in a year, blah blah blah, and you have a lifespan. Most people don't know where they're going to die. But I would hazard a guess and say nobody knows when they're going to die. So we have limited time. We don't have 1 million years to live on Earth to explore every single whim and interest that we have. So yeah, we can't learn everything. Like if you leave me now, I want to learn linguistics, I want to go and do psychology again, I want to do so many things, but maybe I'll be able to do some of them in this lifetime, but some things probably will not happen because I am one person and I have a limited time on the earth. And so although there is time after the earth, when we're in eternity with Jesus, but on this side there's only so much I can do in this lifetime. And although I know that I can explore and expand and blah blah blah, I know that I can't do everything all at once, right? Like which is not that I can't even do some of the things I want to do. I can do one thing now and do it for a while, and then in another couple of years switch and do something else, and do that for a while and then switch and do something else if I feel like this linguistics things. You guys should not be shocked if in like 10 years I'm doing a doctorate in linguistics. Don't be surprised because it's really fascinating to me. But anyway, that's the point. The point of this whole episode of everything I've been talking about since is that yes, we can do anything. The possibilities are limitless and infinite and all of that, but at the same time we can't do everything. There is limits for various reasons, and that's something we should be okay with. I know some people are trying to find how to make all of us live forever, which we will, because eternity after we die, but I don't think they're going to succeed in making us live forever on this side of eternity. But that's by the way. But anyway, yeah, thank you for listening to this very chaotic episode. Bye. Also, ask me questions. Submit a question. Thank you. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things. If there was anything you found interesting or insightful, or you enjoyed the episode, please do share to someone or multiple people. Leave a comment, and definitely do subscribe and all the nice things. Bye.